Guess who's back again? Welcome back to Sophisticulture. This is, I don't know if Farah, you know this is the final episode of season 3 because we need a break, okay?
We do, girl.
Awards season this year, I don't know what was in the sugars and spice because this year was intense, of course, packed full of amazing film, absolutely. Very difficult to make decisions. Like every time one battle was winning, I was like, oh no, Sinners. And when Sinners was winning, it was amazing. And like there was a whole, but really for me, it has been the TikTokification of film criticism for me. I have found this excruciating because of the number of people flattening critique to just whether or not they like or don't like something and then going to bat for whether they like or don't like it and calling the other side media illiterate for not thinking the same things they do.
Oh,
Instead of,
yes, I've been,
like,
it's bothering me so much.
they go, oh my god, media literacy's in the toilet, and it's just someone analyzing the movie in a way they don't like. It's like okay.
It's media literacy when it's an opinion that I don't like.
Yeah. Media literacy is when you agree with me.
Literally.
That's what the girls are doing right now in TikTok, and that, unfortunately, people aren't talking about it yet because it's not something anyone's noticed yet, but I'm watching it seep into actual journalism. I'm watching certain journalists in specific journalistic institutions that are searching for clicks, playing into kind of the tribalism that it developed. And also, like, it's really never that serious. And I will go into my kind of defense of Paul Thomas Anderson cinephile thing in a second, but like, genuinely, the conversation around award season has been so exhausting. And we were always planning to take a break after the Oscars. We'd do a debrief and then we'd do a little bit of a break before the summer because we have really cool things planned for the summer. But more than ever this year, I am finding myself completely burnt out on the concept of cinema right now. I'm just like, no more films. No more films. Give me an album by a pop girly. Give me some Pink Pantheress. Give me a 1-2 step. Like I
Give me
can't
Rap
do-
Summer.
Listen, because right now, like, London is Londoning for a brief moment. I believe it's about to disappear on Monday, but right now.
Oh my
London
gosh,
is
no!
Londoning. No, I know. It's about to disappear. Enjoy it while you can. Like the number of people like, I'm gonna go to a beer garden this weekend. I'm like, I don't need to do all that. Crack open a window. I live on like the 5th floor. I'm gonna crack open a window. The sun can come and find me. I don't need to go out and find the sun. But yes, so it's a gorgeous weekend, and I just feel this is a really great way to tie up award season and head into the next year of cinema with a fresh slate. And I wanted to bring Farah on not only because she's one of my favorite guests we've had so far, but also because you joined us for our Oscars coverage, our live virtual watch party on Sunday. And then there was some technical issues and we didn't get to have you for most of it. So I wanted like your proper analysis of the show. And also let's get into the One Battle After Another and Sinners of all of it. But first off, how are we feeling about who won, who lost, the yays, the nays? Like, because everyone's still having a civil war about it online, which I don't even know.
I like that it wasn't like a total sweep for something. I like that it was quite like varied. However, I mean, I would have preferred if it was a Sinners sweep, but into like, just all in all, it's good that it wasn't like properly skewed for someone.
Yeah, I think especially that Sinners made history with nominations and then made history with cinematography. And then also, Ryan Coogler is only the second black guy after Jordan Peele to win for original screenplay, which, by the way, black men in America are holding original screenplay up on their backs right now. Like, it's genuinely because no one else is writing original scripts that really, like, cross over into mainstream film in that way. And also horror. Let's go horror. But yeah, in terms of the Cold War, Civil War, Avengers Endgame situation that is going on with One Battle After Another versus Sinners, which is kind of, and I can say this because, Farah, you're a messy bitch who lives for drama just like me, it has become a bit of a pseudo race war because I'm seeing predominantly white male cinephiles get really angry at, like, specifically black women for having a take of like, didn't really like that. Like, black women are going, I didn't like that. Here are all of the precedents in history where this is narratively damaging. I felt bad. This was not something that narratively made me feel empowered. And on top of that, I don't feel comfortable that all of these themes were being handled by a white guy, you know, albeit with a mixed wife. And a bunch of white guys are just like yelling in the TikTok comments that these women are media illiterate. And I'm like, illiterate where? She just literated it for you. And they're like, no, media illiteracy is when you're wrong and I'm right.
Girl, I had a situation like, do you know how obviously we stayed all night and that was crazy? So like I went out like the day after. No sleep, and I was talking talking literally, that was literally what it was. And I was talking to someone and they were like, oh, you've seen the Oscars? And I was like, yeah, I've seen the Oscars. And I was like, you know, everything is good, but I do wish that Sinners won Best Picture. And then he was like, well, it wasn't the Best Picture. And I was like, okay, you know what, I'm sitting this one out. I'm so sleepy for this.
I'm not gonna do this mess with you today.
Damn, like, you know, there is a sort of a race divide in these things.
I think it harshes white people's vibe when they are reminded that like that's not a sandbox that a lot of people are comfortable with them playing in, right? So when someone says like, you know, it's all right, but it wasn't the best, Sinners was the best, they kind of almost want to defend being able to play in that space that Paul Thomas Anderson played in. And like, I can get into my Paul Thomas Anderson Defense Squad thing in a second, because it's never that I don't like that man. I have a very complicated and beautiful relationship with his filmography, but specifically in regards to trying to have this conversation with people, it's like Sinners has been so good that they can't see how good Sinners has been.
Yes.
It's like they're taking how good it is for granted.
This is so interesting. Yes, this is so true.
Right?
I think because Paul Thomas sort of like, not in regards to awards, but he's been having his flowers from like the general public, in a sense. Even, I would say, even outside of like the usual film crowd.
Yeah.
I want to say Phantom Thread is literally like top 5 films of all time for me. Top 5 romantic films. Romantic comedy films for me.
Yeah. I love that you think Phantom Thread is a romantic comedy.
100%.
I came out of it feeling like it was a psychological horror movie, but still so romantic. And I was just like, it's a specific brand of romance that like means a lot to me as someone that has very complicated feelings about romance.
Whenever I go on dates, I like to test the water, and I drop saying like, oh yeah, Phantom Thread is my favorite like romantic comedy, just to see if they're gonna freak out or not. This is like my favorite. And you can put this on the record.
I love it. I love it. It's perfect.
Sorry, what were we saying? Oh yeah, despite this, I feel like he's been having his flowers, but like people, I think like people really, and because like Ryan Coogler is also younger. I think I've seen this tweet and someone was like, you guys, like, oh, he's gonna win like in like, you know, like 20 years or whatever. I'm like, but why? Like, why should we wait? And then someone also commented like something very interesting, like, you know, we don't know, because the last time a black man won for something, that was like 2017, I think, for Get Out. So you don't actually know when the next time is that a black man's gonna have this opportunity. So why should their win be delayed because of like a legacy win?
More importantly, the reason Paul Thomas Anderson is winning now is for all the awards where we said the same about him back then. Like, oh, he'll win eventually, he's young,
literally,
he's spry, he's good at his job, he'll win eventually. And here we go, hot take, and this is before we even get into real hot takes later on in the podcast. If we're talking about Oscar-winning Paul Thomas Anderson films, I loved One Battle After Another, don't get me wrong. But if we're gonna get... It's not Sinners. Like, if it were Phantom Thread or The Master or what's the Boogie Nights, I may be talking or thinking about this a bit differently, but One Battle After Another was a really great film that he clearly spent a lot of time on, and it was, when I first watched it, I was like, it is the defining perception of America in political allegory that we will have for this next decade and a half, unless anyone comes along and does anything better. But like, it's what One Battle After Another is what Eddington wanted to be. Eddington, with if One Battle After Another had been released in any other year, Eddington would have had a clear path to the Oscars last year, and I would have been spitting. I would have been so angry because Eddington is just, in my opinion, ass. Again, another hot take. I'm just full of them today. The big thing with me is that, for me, if you're going, Best Picture was Sinners. Like if we're saying that the Oscars is best means most, then it wins on that axis. If we're talking about the Oscars is a bulwark for how the industry should move in an era of AI, Sinners wins on that axis. If we're talking about how many artisans were involved, Guillermo del Toro style, Sinners wins on that axis. Like, it's Best Picture to me, and everyone's going, oh well, you've got to link it to Best Editing, or you've got to have a look at who won the Critics' Choice and who won the, like, at the end of the day, the Academy is the Academy, and they have made different decisions in the past. And so, though I loved One Battle After Another, I was disappointed that it wasn't Sinners. But then also the people that are if you're just saying that it should have been Sinners because One Battle After Another is a terrible interpretation of XYZ character or XYZ situation with no clarification as to what you mean, I do also disagree with you as well. Like, you need to have a really concrete reason. I never asked you what you thought of One Battle After Another, Farah.
I loved One Battle After Another.
Heck yeah!
I didn't. Yeah, I did. I didn't love Licorice Pizza. I've had an interesting, trajectory with Paul Thomas Anderson. Funnily enough, the first film I watched him was Phantom Thread. And I was like, oh, this must be all what his films are like, wrong.
He is, it's what I love about engaging with his work. He is like a box of chocolates.
So versatile. Every single film is different.
You never know.
Yeah.
He's what Tarantino wishes.
Thinks he is. He's
what a lot of these directors think they are. He can jump for, to me, he's the art house Rob Reiner. He's good.
Ooh, that's interesting, yeah.
Thank you. He's solid at everything. Like, Rob Reiner could do anything, from mockumentary to grueling drama, and to me, that's Paul Thomas Anderson. Anyway, sorry, continue.
No,
so I didn't like Licorice Pizza either. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't the same as other ones that I'd loved.
Yeah, 100%.
Although it did introduce me to Cooper Hoffman, which
that's your guy.
That is my man, my baby. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, and then sorry, what were we saying?
You were saying that you loved One Battle After Another.
I did love it. I went into it with I didn't know anything about Pynchon is the novel called, I believe. Yes. I didn't know anything about it. I actually, funnily enough, I thought this should be the movie that if The Revenant didn't happen, this should have been the movie that Leonardo DiCaprio should have gotten his Oscar for.
Yeah.
If we're talking about modern roles. If anything, actually, I would have preferred that Leonardo got the Oscar for this, and then Sinners got other wins than Michael B. Jordan. I would have preferred that Roy won his Oscar over Michael B. Jordan. Not that there should be one, if that makes sense. But if there should have been a Sinners acting win, should have been Delroy.
Yeah. I mean, but again, that's you're thinking Critics' Choice vibes, as opposed to because with the Academy, they just go for most. They just go, oh, you played two characters.
Yeah.
Wow. When really, you're right, there was a huge amount. I just wanted everyone from Sinners to win things. I just wanted Delroy and Michael B. Because to me, and which to me, ultimate snub of the night, no one is discussing.
God,
and then of course there is the snub behind the snub, which is that Amanda Seyfried didn't even get a nomination as an actress this year, which I found really disrespectful. Anyway, but yeah, so you like
even Regina Hall. Honestly, if we're gonna get into it, really sad.
Who carries over half of the film. On one side of the film and just has kind of basically been shut out of award season entirely, which did not make sense to me.
I feel like Regina Hall's acting was a real, and you remember what I was telling you before about how the lost art of the supporting actress. I feel like that was Regina Hall's role was a real supporting acting role.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say I loved one battle after another. Immediately after watching it, I was like, okay, this is fun. And then I think like I gave it like a 4.5 at the time out of 5. I think now after sitting with it and engaging with the politics of it, I would drop it down to maybe like 3.5.
Fair enough. I think I feel similarly. I think I came out of it with a much hotter feeling about it. And I think as time has gone by, I rate it a little lower than I did at the beginning.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate, I think, when like you sit with it in a sense.
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
just
really
think also, unfortunately, it was put in conversation immediately with sinners, which is like absolutely perfect in its messaging. Like it has a very clear goal of communication that it succeeds at. Whereas One Battle is sprawling and it kind of wants to give a general watercolor impression of American politics in less concrete terms, which there's a place for that in a year that you're not being put up against Sinners, which is like a driving force of narrative in and of itself.
100%. Like this, I feel like this would have been good in like what last year. Last year was that would have been a good race.
Yeah.
But now I just feel like people just put it in this like race war, which is just so weird.
It is.
And the only it's not the sinners crowd, it's the One Battle crowd.
It is. It is because they cannot talk. What it is that the sinners crowd just yay sinners. It's just that if anyone of black origin globally speaks about the downfalls or the pitfalls of One Battle after another, immediately race war. Immediately, controversy in the comments. Everybody's very mad. You didn't understand the film. And it's like, it's basically deciding that anyone that didn't understand the film the way they didn't understand the film at all. And also it's this, have you noticed in kind of discussion around film that people are starting to treat it like it's a pop quiz with yes and no answers? Like, was this movie good? Yes, no. And there's only one correct answer.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows there's nuance to it, but it's almost as if every time someone has an opinion on a certain film, you're decided as to whether or not you are correct. So like, for instance, I made a video, 2 days ago or 1 day ago, where I was like, hey, anybody that's turning on people that have bad opinion, have a bad opinion of, as in like they don't feel well, they don't like one battle after another. Anyone that's turning on those people, I'm not with you, because they are making very cogent points, right? They're making points about kind of race politics in America and whether or not these things were dealt with subtly, right? They're making very good points. And all of you just kind of turn on those people. And I have had multiple people come into the comments that I've had to delete. Just be like, no, actually, wrong take. Wrong take? Wrong take.
It's not up for debate, really.
Wrong take. It's like, a take is a take. Like, you can't have a right and wrong take. A take is an opinion. A wrong opinion. It's like we've gotten to a point, I think, because both political action conversations and discussions about media are both happening on the same platforms, and I fear are also merging. So the sense of political urgency and action is being enacted through film and media and culture instead of through the streets, instead of through political action. And so people feel that they get to have right and wrong takes on certain things, or that political harm is being done by films simply because it's being interpreted one way or the other. Can political harm be done by films? Absolutely. But just because someone disagrees with you does not mean that they are causing you political violence, or that they are causing you active harm, or that they are harming the community, or that they're media illiterate, or that it just becomes so vicious. And I was saying this the other day, TikTok has become like unusable now discourse-wise. Like, it's just not worth having discussions with people anymore.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
that's the One Battle after another thing. I'm glad we kept that to 20 minutes, or I could have gone on forever. But
I can still go on, honestly.
Listen, that the debate to me has been so sad, because it's taken away from the benefits of One Battle After Another, but also it's taking away from the grief that a lot of us are feeling about Sinners not winning, because I think Sinners, once, you know, you only have one award season, right? And if it's not one Best Picture, it's not one Best Picture. But someone made a really great point about, actually it's better for Sinners' legacy that it didn't win Best Picture. This will go down in the annals of history as one of the hardest decisions ever made by the Academy or whatever. Anyway, I kind of agreed with that. Anyway, let's move on. I wanted to do a really quick appreciation of Autumn Durald Arkapaw.
Yes.
That's correct, right?
That's my favorite one of the night.
What, like, and the speech of the night and everything. I wanted to just, I've literally in our run of show, I've put all of the films that she was cinematographer on. And I just wanted, like, for each of us to go through and, like, pick the film everyone should go and watch of hers, that because mine is mainstream. Like, I don't really like Gia Coppola movies except the film Mainstream that came out in 2020, and unironically to this day it holds up as a brilliant portrait of the dangers and toxicities of the internet and internet incentives for, like, psychopaths and sociopaths. And it's so brilliantly shot. And when I found out Autumn had shot it, I was like, oh my god, I've got to run to the podcast and tell everyone to go watch it. But which of those films, A, have you seen, and 2, would you recommend that people go and seek out to watch in the next, I don't know, the next week maybe?
Wait, films in general?
No, the ones you see in the run of show, I have, like, a bunch of her, of all of her
Right,
cinematography.
yes.
Which of these have you seen that you'd be like, everyone should go see this right now to kind of read up on some Autumn?
I've only seen, well, Black Panther and The Last Showgirl and Sinners.
Did you like that?
Is that the one with Andrew Garfield, right?
Yes!
I haven't seen that one, but I saw, like, a lot of clips from it, and it's like, I keep saying, like, I want to watch this soon. I want to watch this soon. Did she film this?
Yes, and yeah. She literally did this. I didn't know this until I went and looked it up today. I was like, no bloody way, because she works a lot with Gia Coppola, and I was just like, oh, I freaking love Mainstream, so I'm just gonna recommend Mainstream. So everyone go watch 2020's Mainstream, Gia Coppola's film with Andrew Garfield and
Maya Hawke.
Maya Hawke.
I remember there's, like, a lot of, like, really good shots from that film that I keep seeing.
Stunning. Everyone's using them in their pitch decks, and that's no
Literally. Everyone's like, that Wattpad cast getting that.
Exactly. That's exactly it. The girls aren't slick. I always know when they've watched films like that. I'm like, okay, you are internet pilled.
Girl, we were there. We were all there.
We were indeed present for that. But yeah, no, I mean, obviously Black Panther, Wakanda Forever is another incredibly well shot film. So yeah, the films I have on this list is 2009's Macho, 2011 Guadalupe the Virgin, 2013 Palo Alto, 2015 1 and 2, 2018 Untogether and Teen Spirit, 2019 The Sun Is Also a Star. I know a bunch of people saw that, but I didn't. 2020 Mainstream, go watch Mainstream. 2022 Black Panther Wakanda Forever. 2024 The Last Showgirl, which I didn't like, but it looked gorgeous.
The Last Showgirl?
So shout out to Autumn. Yeah,
I didn't love it as well, but it did look gorgeous, and
it was stunning.
Everyone was, like, really good in it. But
yeah. Well, and then of course Sinners, which, you know, it's always good for a Sinners rewatch. Right, so some people are being ridiculous, and it is fully, we just finished the Oscars, last week? People are being
take a nap,
right
like,
now.
please, can we take it?
Immediately, first look at Martin Scorsese, trailer for Spider-Man. The first look at Dune 3, trailer for Dune. Like, we just finished the Oscars. Like, we can't do all of this now. I can't believe it. But the girls are doing predictions for next year already. Now, you'll never see me do that. Like, we're not going to be making predictions for next year's Oscars. Because, what?
It is way too early. What happened to slow life? What happened to let me, relax? Oh my god.
What happened to hi? What happened to hi there? Hello.
Literally.
How are you? We have not seen 90% of these films. We can't even be making predictions. Obviously, we think if there's going to be Scorsese with DiCaprio in it, that's going to head off or whatever. I only found out from all of those lists of like, here's what could be at the Oscars next year, that they've made a sequel to the frickin' Once Upon a Time in Hollywood movie.
Yeah, well, isn't that gonna be what's his name? Sorry, Fincher.
Yeah. Yep, Fincher's directing and Brad Pitt is in it, and it's called The Adventures of Cliff Booth, like it's a freaking children's TV show.
Yes, girl.
I am.
Yes, we've lost the plot. We've definitely.
I'm sickened.
We have lost the plot a long time ago, actually.
I'm sickened. How are we here? Like, okay, you want another hot take? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was just okay. Like,
No, that's not. That's an average take in my household. That's a lukewarm take.
I'm telling you, that man Quentin Tarantino only made one good film, and I give him one, because I glue two of them together. Kill Bill. Kill Bill was the best thing he did, and after that he should have hung up his cap and stuck to the tickety typing, because he can write really great stuff, but my god. Well, he can write okay stuff. Now let me, hold on.
You're like, wait a minute.
I'm giving him too much. I'm in my Paul Thomas Anderson mode. I'm like, no, wait, no, he can't really, actually. I didn't like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood at all. I mean, there were redeeming bits and pieces, and I think
Margot Robbie,
right, Margot Robbie, and you managed to have a whole film with Margot Robbie, and she didn't say a single word, and to me, that's the real crime. Like, how are you gonna do my girl like that? But also, the other thing with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is that if you're just gonna have an okay movie in pockets, like, no film bro has managed to explain to me how good the film is as a whole. They just point to little tiny things, like scenes or individual references. And it's just like, Tarantino could have really benefited from a popping Tumblr.com account. If he had just been writing fan fiction on fanfiction.net, .org.edu, Wattpad, AO3, like his thing is fan fiction, original character fan fiction of, you know, a Japanese movie.
it's fine. The girls,
that's fine.
the girls that get it. But you don't have to make it my problem.
Yeah, I know the kind of general adage for Tarantino is he's a film DJ. He takes two films and he remixes them together, which I think, you know, that's a very common way of referring to him in literally Los Angeles. A lot of my friends, when I say that, they go, "Oh yeah, I've heard that one." Or like, you know, in New York, like in the big American cities, they all really eat with that line. They're like, "He's a film DJ. He remixes movies." It's like, yeah, okay, ground floor level, like. His writing sometimes is genius. So, like, I'm thinking specifically From Dusk Till Dawn. I love that writing. But also that could have just been that George Clooney is a genius and can make anything sound cool. It was George Clooney in that movie. God, now I'm nervous. Hold on. From
Not sure, actually.
Till Dawn. It was a Robert Rodriguez film written by Quentin Tarantino, starring Harvey Keitel and George Clooney. Don't check me, boo. I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so he wrote I liked his writing in From Dusk Till Dawn. Loved his writing in Kill Bill. And everything else that this man has done, at best, irks me. At worst, I want to chuck my phone out the window. I want to leave the cinema.
Yeah.
Mad. Anyway, long, very rage baity moment aside, they're going and they're making another one.
Did you see his? He just did a thing today. He's making a TV show with I think it was reported on TMZ, but I don't know. It could be true. Tarantino's
Quentin
making.
Tarantino.
Yeah, he's making a TV show with Sylvester Stallone. Literally, like the most Chat GPT generated project of all time.
I'm going, what year is it? What year is it? It's like Hollywood make an original film challenge impossible. Like, okay, you're going to do a TV show. Okay, fine. A TV show. Ugh. Because this man has made this stupid rule that he's only going to make 10 movies. Oh my god, I'm so unique and quirky and cool, and I'm not like the other girls. I'm only going to make 10 movies. So now, in pursuit of, I don't know, maybe actually being a creative who continues to create, he's going to have to move into TV. A medium I believe he's probably likely ill-equipped for. Because he just barely has enough story for a feature. What's he going to do with it? Anyway, you know what? I need to calm down.
I was just gonna say, I was like, you know what? I need to calm down. Cause
you know what? I need to go down. I was gonna say it's so musical chairs to me that Finch is directing Cliff Booth, but who's directing Social Reckoning? Is that Sorkin?
is it Sorkin? No, I don't think he's involved. Wait,
The Social Reckoning.
Reckoning. Oh, it is actually. Yeah.
Written and directed, which, by the way, the last time he wrote and directed something, it was Trial of the Chicago 7, or whatever it was, and I didn't mind that film. I actually liked that film. The thing is that Sorkin has moved to my right. Like, I started as a young kid trying to understand politics, and Sorkin was like God. And then slowly I realized that actually I'm not on the I'm not on the right of Sorkin. Sorkin's on the right of me politically. And I'm like, okay, great, cool.
You have a great way
like,
with words.
Why, thank you. It's not that I'm to the right. It's also, the other thing with him is just like, there comes a point where you start to believe your own hype. And at that point, you're no longer cool. Like Sorkin needs to...
He reached that point a long time ago. Like, he started, which, you know what, listen, I will just say this. I just, like, let me just not be Farah the writer. Let me be Farah the person.
Yeah.
I, seeing, like, a lot of my peers who are, you know, women of color, that it takes them ages to believe that they are good. And then, like, it feels like Sorkin as well. Not just Sorkin, a lot of people, they just get there on their own, just so early, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, it makes you bitter.
Yeah. To me, Sorkin's trajectory, if it even existed at the time, which I actually don't believe it did, still to this day is like, oh, no one will ever do that again. You can't write incisive, great theatrical plays that catapult you into Hollywood. Like, you were the last man, if that was even real, you were the last man to do that. Like, even he was the last of a dying breed. Like, this was an old path. Like, this was back in, like, the mid-century of America, like 50s, 60s, 70s. The big thing was for playwrights to get so big, you know, that do you remember, did you watch Blue Moon?
Yes.
That was the beginning of this, where you'd have like Rodgers and Hammerstein and stuff become so big on Broadway that they'd start moving into film or writing songs for Hollywood, or like, and so that was the beginning, and the end of it was Aaron Sorkin, right? No one really, like, it's a lot harder, and it, like, you don't just catapult in your 20s from writing incisive, amazing plays straight into Hollywood anymore. Like, you have to be at least 45 before they will even look at your plays. Like, when I think of Celine Song, for instance, like, she was writing plays for years and years and years and years, and that path only became available to her because one of the plays she wrote during lockdown was on Sims, and so it was like this big moment of like, oh, interesting theatre being done in it was Sims, right?
I think so.
It was Sims. Anyway, basically, I completely agree. It's like the Sorkin thing is, I'm also a Sorkin head. This is the problem. Here I am going after.
We
Paul
all,
Thomas
the thing is,
Anderson.
we all are. That doesn't negate. Like, we were talking about like Paul Thomas Anderson. I'm like, listen, I will say what I have to say, but again, Phantom Thread is my favorite film. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Fear that some of these white boys may be annoyingly platformed, and yet still, like, you know, damn it, they do eat now and then. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
I hate to give you your flowers, but you will get them.
I fear I must give flowers where flowers are due regardless. Like, I can't lie. Sorkin, genuinely, I don't think there's been anything he's made that I've actively disliked. Which is crazy.
Except for that one scene. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, now I'm racking my head because I'm like, damn it.
I think it was in the newsroom.
Girl, I've only watched a couple of episodes of that.
Oh my gosh, it goes viral like every couple of...
Oh, that scene! No, wait, because I live for that scene, actually, kind of. I kind of, like, that scene kind of eats for me.
We are in hell.
Because it was America's first, baby's first class consciousness, you know? Like, America's first realization of like, oh wait, are we the bad guys? And it's like, it's a monologue written by someone who does actually believe that America are the good guys, right? So already, like I said, Sorkin is to the right of us because he still believes in a concept of America that never existed, which is like, hoorah, rah, rah, white flag, saviors, white hat, we're gonna go in. Like, to me, the person that best Sorkin-esque dialogue and storytelling is Shonda Rhimes.
Ooh.
Scandal, because Scandal
Girl.
Scandal took The West Wing and gave it ketamine. And that, to me, I mean, she raised me. And so I'm always going to be sat for a Sorkin production. This one's about the whistleblower at Meta, right? Oh God, did I just call it Meta? Oh my God, I'm leaving. I'm rage quitting. Rage quitting. At Facebook. It's about the whistleblower at Facebook.
Amazing.
It's like when you accidentally call it X. I'm like, no.
Stop date naming it.
No. Anyway, so yeah, so I don't. Written and directed by Aaron Sorkin, could either be another Trial of the Chicago 7, which I unironically liked, but other people didn't. Did you watch Trial of the Chicago 7?
Actually, I didn't. I think, yeah.
It's a Netflix original if you need to get it.
I remember I think it was nominated for an Oscar.
Yep, I think it was screenplay. And to be honest, I rooted for it at the time. I can't remember what other nominations were there, but I was like, if it wins, it's fantastic. It's, again, like, I wouldn't actually honestly be surprised to find out that Sorkin has maybe become more left-wing since. Because the thing is like, he still has that, like, hoorah neolib thing of, like, oh, America just needs to get back to its ideals. And like, it's like, what, the ideals that create slavery? Like, okay, man, like, those ideals? All right. Well, like, okay, good luck with that. But like, I think the last couple of years for Americans have been so terrible that they're starting to realize that like, it's kind of endemic to the system. And once Aaron Sorkin gets in his real left-wing bag, like, because his whole thing is like, I'm a liberal, liberal. And now I kind of feel like if he's now gone full left, oh my God, the monologues. Oh my God, the monologues.
Hey. But yeah.
It would be amazing. I mean, I'm just looking forward to kind of the monologues of railing against big tech oligarchs with this one. Like, oh my God, yeah, excoriate him.
Yeah.
Why not? Ruin freaking Mark Zuckerberg's entire life and lineage. Why not? It's like Jeremy O'Harris at Vanity Fair. Like, it's like Jeremy O'Harris at Vanity Fair calling Sam Altman a Nazi. Like, tea.
This
like,
is
okay, yeah, you should call Sam Altman a Nazi. Like, why not? Like, we're in the end times. What do you have to lose?
I feel this so much. I feel it.
I just feel like if they're going to destroy the planet, we don't have to do them the courtesy of accepting them back into society. They can actually just be alien pariahs that drift around the outskirts. Because if that's the choice, then... Anyway, I need to calm down. You can tell the number that this award season specifically has done on me, because I'm just... Between that and the news over the last year, like, when I was at Cannes last year, which is when all this calendar started... It was like, what, month 5 of the second Trump presidency? So much happened in those 5 months. And now, a year and change later, it's like, damn, like, we are literally in World War III. Okay, so, right, like, all the worst things have happened. If you, as a film or as a conversationalist around film, or a film critic or a film journalist, cannot even acknowledge that. That was the other thing I found difficult about the Oscars, is that they were clearly really, really reticent to make any sort of strong statement. Everyone was so, like, the fact that they didn't invite Jane Fonda to talk about frickin' Robert Redford? What was Barbara Streisand doing there? Like, respect to the Queen, but...
the way that she talked about, she was like, girl, like, she came out, she was like, girls, you and I both know. Come on now.
Dead ass, because her and Robert were about that action.
They go way back.
Way back. And they're both of them 100%. Like, she would have gone, okay, if I'm going to honor him correctly, I need to come up on here with, like, the Palestinian flag around my shoulders or some shit. Like, she would have done something insane. And they were like, we can't let that happen. And I fear that Barbara Streisand was a great pick, but it was not the obvious pick, and it was very, very obvious who the obvious pick was, and it was very obvious they hadn't picked her, and at that point I was just like, wow, so you're going to cut my diva off at the knees. Wow. Then that was literally her man.
No, literally though. Crazy. Like, literally.
Like, I've seen pictures of, what's his name? Mr. CNN, Ted, whatever, her ex-husband. Ted, what is it? Oh my god, Jane Fonda ex-husband, the guy that founded Ted Turner.
Right.
he founded CNN, and she was married to Ted Turner. And every time I see pictures of Ted Turner, I'm like, oh, so you just married someone that looked a bit more like Robert. Like,
Wait, what's his name? Ted what?
Ted Turner.
Turner. I want to know what he looks like. Didn't she say something
CNN.
like she literally just said something like, oh my gosh, like I slept with someone that made Paramount or something.
Yeah, she literally was married to the guy who founded CNN, which is now in the hands of the Ellisons.
Oh my, you know who he looks like? Oh my gosh, he looks exactly like Omar Sharif if he was white.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was trying to get
she was trying to have mixed babies. Yeah.
No, because Omar Sharif was dating oh my gosh, why is my brain one second.
But young Ted Turner kind of looked a little bit like Robert Redford, and I've been making
Barbara Streisand and Omar Sharif were dating. So now I'm like, they were both in each other, like they were trying to get
Oh, now, wait a minute.
something?
What was the tea? Oh, now I wish I was like 40 years older, because this is so pissing me. I was like, oh, what was the tea? If you or anyone you know watching this, hello everybody, if you're watching this and you know the tea, either comment it or email
Jane, if you're tuned in, I know
Jane,
you are.
if you're listening to this, I need to know the tea. Oh my lord. Anyway, yes, so I've always made the joke that Ted Turner looked just like Robert Redford. Anyway. Hey, and listen, and we'll never hate on it. You know?
It's okay, baddie, girl, like
international baddie of the highest proportions. Like no one's touching Jane Fonda. I love that woman. Anyway, speaking of women that I adore that were at the Oscars that did a really great job. Sigourney Weaver in that little clip where she's like, "Get away from him, you bitch!"
Oh, that I really did.
I personally, I got involved with that. That was amazing. Yeah, and then like there was a whole other bit where Conan was making fun of Grogu because he couldn't applaud, and there came a point where the puppeteers just shrugged Grogu and was just like, "What do you want me to do?" It's like, "It's so cruel. You brought it to a award show. He can't even clap. Clap, Grogu!" And Grogu's like, "Mate."
You know, on that topic, sorry if I'm interrupting.
Yeah, sure, go on.
But the way the whole Oscars was like an elaborate like marketing press rollout. Every single thing was promoting something. All the duos or all the like the reunions. We have The Devil Wears Prada. We had like Grogu. We had
Do you know that? But you do know the through line, right?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
They're all Disney.
Yeah.
And Disney. Yeah. So for those that don't know, the Oscars in America air on ABC. ABC is Disney. So they just use the Oscars as a little bit of a billboard for their next summer.
The Avengers.
Yeah.
Like, guys.
Which, by the way, we could have given them a much better skit than that. That skit was not good. And we're talking about Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, two people who can make anything work, and they made it work. But I feel that they were let down at the award ceremony.
It was just basic.
It was all right. It was like, oh, I got you an anniversary gift. Like, okay, we're trying to tie in Avengers. We get it. But, like, there could have been so much more. Like, you could have genuinely, if they were ready for, like, some proper hot goss, they could have played into the fact that Chris Evans is going to be back for Avengers. They could have got, like, Robert Downey Jr. could have started this going, oh.
The funniest person in the skit was Channing Tatum.
Yes, I need him back.
Which is like, guys, like, he is really funny, but like, what does it say about you that your biggest stars are getting like overshadowed?
The writing was so much better with other skits, or it was better executed. I don't know, but yeah, Channing Tatum completely overtook that bit. And I would also say there is something to maybe playing into Chris Evans is back. I didn't know you'd be here. Like something to the effect of like the actual drama instead of like, oh, I got you, and like, and also like the Robert Downey Jr. is selfish and forgetful thing doesn't really hit anymore because he's like fully in his 70s.
It's 2026.
You know, like, what year is it? I feel like I say every week to someone, I'm like, what year is it? Like, no one knows how to make new things anymore. We are stuck in a time loop. What is happening? Anyway, all that to say, they're predicting next year, and they're going, okay, well, the Odyssey, Disclosure Day, which is Spielberg, Dune 3, Project Hail Mary, which was all right. You saw Project Hail Mary first.
I loved it, yes. Did you?
And you did a review. I have not seen it yet.
Okay, yes.
I'm going to wait till streaming because I don't have the spoons to go to the cinema, but I hear it's brilliant.
It is really good.
And the girls are kind of saying it might end up heading towards the award season. I'm not seeing that level of buzz, in my opinion. It might get a visual effects or something.
Really what it's reminding me of, which is upsetting me. Because do you remember like last year this time we had Mickey 17,
Yeah.
literally like
They keep dumping the sci-fi boys in March.
sci-fi like movies with like a lovable like extraterrestrial like animal, like come on guys, this is just so sad because we keep getting really nice sci-fi films that just get dumped in March and then become
Yeah.
forgotten. But also, I am hopeful because Sinners did come out at this time as well. I'm sure that it does not have the same impact, obviously, but I feel like Project Hail Mary has more buzz than Mickey 17, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. And
But
Ryan
yeah.
Gosling is, in my opinion, a bigger actor than um, Robert Pattinson.
Can I also say better?
I mean,
Oop.
we're being controversial today.
Are they gonna arrest me? Are you gonna arrest?
I just love Ryan Gosling so much.
He's everything to me.
He-
Like, if you want to talk about our Leo, like, of this generation, like, it's Ryan Gosling. Like,
Yes.
but why did he have to do that to his face?
And if
Okay,
we're
I'm
and,
catching
and
up
if
now.
and if our if our film star of our generation is blonde, so be it.
So be it.
So be it.
So be it. It's fine. Like, he can play Lars in The Real Girl, and he can play Ken in the Barbie movie. Like, I need 18. Wait, has he won an Oscar yet?
I know, I don't think so.
Oh, we need to fix that.
Yeah.
We need to fix that. Ryan Gosling has.
And I'll tell you something. Part of his charm is that he can, like, he doesn't want it that much, right? And there's something chic about that. I'll just
It is.
say.
It's so
I'm not
chic.
gonna. I'm
So
not
hot.
shading anyone.
It's so chic. It's so chic. Oh, well, now wait.
No shade.
I'm not touching the Timothy conversation.
I'm not,
It's
girl, I'm not.
Paul, we're not even gonna go there. Mr. Moo can figure his shit out and figure it out on the Dune press tour and work it out, and he can come and bring us the results when he's ready.
Literally.
But I don't want to. Ooh. Anyway, we just had a comment in the live chat. Did you see Being the Ricardos? I didn't. But
Isn't that one with
Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem? Yes.
First off, Javier Bardem.
Oh my gosh, I love this man so much. The way, listen,
He's everything.
I love him. I love him.
No a la guerra, no a la guerra, no to war and free Palestine, and he's the only one that says it.
He's literally so iconic.
No one will ever stop him.
And there was a lot of applause, and they didn't show who like applauded, and I'm like, guys, like it's over.
shit.
Like just show it. It's just tell me.
Why not? Like let me know whose films I'll be seeing in 2026.
Literally.
Show me who's, but I didn't see. I saw like maybe the first 5 minutes, I think, of Being the Ricardos. Some people told me it was amazing, but also it's the thing.
But
of, Lucille Ball and what's his name? Her husband.
Yes.
I want to say Des, but it's not Des. Hold on. Lucille.
Literally, I'm forgetting all the names today.
Lucille Ball. Desi Arnaz. There you go.
Yes.
So I was like 90% correct. I just forgot. Desi Arnaz. Yeah. But yeah, I think these are some of the films that are really great just generally, but they don't break through. I think also partially because, like you said, some of the stars are not really like, they don't really, really, really want it. And like, that is chic. That is hot. That is actually really chic and fantastic. And the way they're handling themselves is amazing. And I think a lot of people could learn something from this.
Yeah, I mean, and yes, there is I agree, there's a sort of charm to like a younger person going for something that they want, but I think there's a way to go about it, in my opinion. Like
I think if you're really, really serious about being taken, like, and this is another hot take, they can cancel me for it if they like, but I think if you're really serious about being a really serious actor, seriously, then with all due respect, you can love who you love, but like, don't pop out every 5 minutes with a Kardashian.
Yeah, I mean, that also.
Like, this is not something everyone will believe, and it may get me cancelled, but like, everything is optics. So like, for instance, Zendaya, Tom Holland, we never see them together. It's probably a lot of work for them to stay quite separate and quiet about it, but they do that work so that each of them can only be seen in the context of their most serious work. Every single time Timothy Chalamet reminds people that he is dating Kylie Jenner, who has built a brand around lip kits and, you know, beauty and fashion and influencing on Instagram.
I think he was making an effort in the beginning. It's funny because in the beginning he was deliberately like not showing up with her to places, and then when he started doing like, and it was actually quite offensive, like in the way like he would just like literally ignore her existence. I think it was quite obvious at one point. People were like, "Well, you know, you're just loving this woman like in secret. Like it's kind of weird."
Yeah.
But then that's why like I didn't mind it when they showed up, but like for me, it's not like. I don't know. People do say that people did put a persona on him, but I think he's the one that changed his, like, public, you know, face.
Yeah. I listen. I did say we wouldn't talk about it, and then I've gone and talked about it. So that's my fault. That's me.
Crazy.
But I agree. There's been a switch up, and like he's gonna have to switch it back if he wants. Like,
they're gonna beat my ass so bad on Twitter.
You'll be fine.
Let me show my Twitter.
Get behind me. You know what I'll do? I'll leave all my controversial takes in, and I'll just like bleep out everything you say. So now it'll just be like me getting flamed, and they'll be like, "Wow, Farah really managed that really well." Like, anyway. So that's where we are in terms of people talking about next year. Everyone's talking about maybe the Michael Jackson movie being nominated, but I foresee there being far too much controversy around that. And I won't even get into the controversy. We'll leave that for when the movie comes out. But I think the controversy will be too much. It'll just do really well at the box office and then just kind of fizzle out like Better Man did.
Better Man, that's a good film.
Haven't seen it yet.
It's really good. As someone that did not know anything about Robbie Williams, was not raised in a country that knows about Robbie Williams. Great film.
I have to say, I can't wait because I was raised by that man. Like, his pop music was like, right now, it's, you know the summer you're experiencing right now in the UK and everyone's suddenly hugely optimistic.
Yeah.
Now would be the time people would pull out the Robbie Williams.
Yes.
Right? And you'd just start hearing rock DJ playing down the street.
Oh my gosh, I'll tell you something about this. Summer was a +1 to, I went as a +1 with my friend to a wedding.
Nice.
I experienced my first like, British wedding, and they played
Robbie Williams at a wedding.
I was like, guys, like I get it. Like I think this is the first time I understood like British culture. I was like, guys, do you know like that scene from Philadelphia? What's the show's called?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yes, you know like when Danny DeVito's like, I get it now. That was me. I was like, guys.
I have never felt more patriotic either than when Robbie Williams is playing in a tube station or down the street or in a wedding. Robbie Williams goes so hard at New Year's parties, especially Millennium. Playing Millennium when it hits midnight is such a vibe. Like, that man.
Unmatched.
Anyway, I have not listened to any of his stuff since like 2008, and I'm sure, although Candy was 2015, I guess. So there's some newer stuff that's still great, but he's like, to me, the British king of pop. Like, there's never been anyone that did it like him. And you can come into, you can chat to me about all sorts of other people and the Phil Gate, I can't remember anyone else's names. Anyway, Robbie Williams, peak. Let's quickly end the stream in a second. We've done hot takes. Rec of the week. Farah, do you have a rec of the week? I mean, Project Hail Mary's out.
Yeah, I think it's good to say Project Hail Mary and Better Man now that we're on the topic.
T. And my recommendation, it's on Letterboxd Video Store, parts 1 and 2. There is a very, it's, okay, if you want a film that will not feel like film anymore and will start to feel like some other kind of project, especially because it's so long. I got to watch part 3 of this series of films for BFI Flair because it's screening at Flair this weekend. But there is a saga of films that a lot of cinephiles know about called Castration Movie. Anthology 1, Anthology 2, and Part 3 is screening at Flair. And 1 and 2 are now on Letterboxd Video Store. But if for some reason you are watching this and Letterboxd have taken them down, you can find them on Louise Ward's Gumroad to purchase, like, on Gumroad. So you will always have access to the films. They are this amazing, weird, long anthology of films in chapters, and it is kind of, it's going to end up being a saga that's like the theory of everything, but in grainy lo-fi camcorder digital footage form and spanning so many wacky, weird topics. And it's specifically, I think the specific audience for these movies is anyone that enjoyed Vera Drew's The People's Joker, which was me, and anybody that was so chronically online that you know what 4chan is, you know what Tumblr is, you know what looksmaxing was, and you didn't need to know who Clavicular was to know what looksmaxing was. And like anyone that knows what a foid is, you will watch this film and you'll feel very
Yeah, I don't actually know what that is, so I feel like one of like at least
you're one layer above the kind of person that would watch castration movie, I think. I think it's the kind of movie you need to know what foid means. You need to know what AGP means. I'm trying to find like the niche terms under which people would connect to this film. You need to know what an incel is, obviously, but those are the things, like the problem is that these are the words I would have used 10 years ago to explain to people who should be watching this movie. And now half the terms are mainstream frickin' terms because some random poor autistic boy in America is hitting his jaw with hammers. And now we all have to know what looksmaxing is. And it's like, it's tragic. It's tragic culturally where we have fallen to. Trump, blame you. These incels were meant to stay on 4chan. And maybe some of them would have ended up, you know, shooting up a school, but no one would have really known why. Like, what are we doing? Anyway, I need to calm down. Anyway, basically, I know, it's so freaking over. We're so cooked, chat. We are so cooked. So basically, yeah, if you can... Also, just generally, the Letterboxd video store is amazing. It's got a whole bunch of really niche indie films on there. And if you're a cinephile, like, that kind of just feels like you're getting a secret little sweet treat. And it very much felt that way. And I spent a full 10 quid of my own money because I was prepping, of course, for the interview that we're doing with Louise Ward later on next week. But specifically, I'm looking forward to posting that because we recorded it 2 days ago. It's coming out next week. Absolutely adore that woman. To me, legendary cinematic genius of our time. But you really have to be ready for the themes of these films because they're quite intense and there's a lot of very intense stuff that happens in them. But it's the theory of everything as it exists to the kind of underground undergirdings of the internet that have been like built by some of the most toxic people in the world and how that kind of emanates and affects all of us kind of in the real world. Anyway, highly recommend. It's on Letterboxd Video Store, so you now have no excuse, right, to go and see it. And yeah, that's my recommendation for this week. And I think also I need to go see Project Hail Mary. I need to see Project Hail Mary somehow without leaving my house. I wonder how I will do that. Who knows? I guess it'll be a mystery. I guess I'll teleport there or something. Farah, where can the people find you?
They can find me on the internet where I should not be.
Film with Farah.
Film with Farah.
Film with Farah. Farah.
Thank you.
I thought I'd help.
Instagram, TikTok, all those places. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, Umnia. Love you so much. Eid Mubarak to everyone celebrating.
Eid Mubarak. Eid Mubarak to everybody out there. Stay safe, especially if you're here in the UK. If you're in big crowds, please put a mask on because it's not like men being to be messed with.
I come to this country and there's a meningitis outbreak.
I was saying that to my mother. It's like, this is the thing that like, oh gosh, anyway, anyway, the racists have no clue. They're like, oh my god, best country, best nation. I'm like, you don't even realize this is the kind of thing that wipes this is a rural outbreak type situation. Like, this wipes people out.
2026.
In a full 2026. Like, this was the kind of thing taking out my cousins in the 70s, right? Like, disabling members of my family in the 70s, and now it's just fully in a university in Kent, just round the corner. Oof. Anyway.
It's okay.
It's fine. It's all gonna be fine. And we'll make it through. Anyway, take very good care. Thank you for joining us, Farah.
Thank you.
Take care, Everybody look after themselves, and we will be now taking a little bit of a hiatus with Sophisticulture, although there's going to be a bunch of interviews coming over the next couple of days and weeks as we finish our BFI Flair coverage, so keep an eye out for that. Of course, obscure.co.uk for the newsletter, for free stuff to your inbox, free reviews, watch lists, and all sorts, and then we have some really fun stuff planned for the podcast in the summer. So be sure to subscribe if you're listening to us on any of your podcast apps, and if you are listening to us on youtube.edu. Take good care, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye! Bye, bye, bye.